Telling our stories is the connective tissue of the collective human experience. The Just Keep Talking podcast delves into the lives and stories of artists. What is the impact of mental health on creativity? What does it mean to be a creative individual? Someone who feels deeply, experiences joy and pain intensely, and navigates the challenges of life through the creative process. With each story shared, we explore the authentic experience of our basic need to be seen, to be heard, and to belong. We're really not so different from one another, nor are we alone. Together, we can inspire, encourage, and enlighten each other to find the true joy and fulfillment that is within ourselves. When we just keep talking, we create the space for gratitude, self-acceptance, and grace in everyday life. In a world filled with divisiveness, fostering inclusivity and connection is a powerful way to make a positive impact. The Just Keep Talking podcast with me, Brother Love, because your story matters.
You and I, well, just like a couple of tots. What? Running around the neighborhood, scrapping up all those forget-me-nots. You make me young. You make me feel that our bells to be rung, and sounds to be sung, and a wonderful thing to be flung.
Hello and welcome to the Just Keep Talking podcast with me, your host, Brother Love. Your story matters. My guest today is Sarah Aili, singer, songwriter, recording artist, actor, writer, and soon to be mom. We didn't even get to all the things that you are. You're so many wonderful things. Hello, Sarah Aili.
Hello.
Thank you so much. I'm in your home. Thank you for having me here.
It's my pleasure to have you here. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you. I was here just a few weeks ago with your husband, Matthew Slahekta.
Yes, and what a wonderful interview that was.
Thank you. You were very kind. You listened to it, which I'm always amazed if anybody listens, takes any time. Well, thank you. This day and age, everything is so fast, right? So this is a long-form talk show, but you listen to the whole thing. I guess it was your husband, so you have to, right? Right? I don't know if my wife listens to the episodes anymore, and I don't want to guilt her at all. But thank you for tuning into the show with your beautiful husband. And
yes,
I love being in your home. I've been in your home a bunch of times playing music with you guys, and you are just an incredible force of nature.
Wow, thank you.
As a singer and as a songwriter, your latest singles, Boundary, It's Over, these were 2022. Your last EP, 2019, Say Your Goodbyes Now, produced by Radney Foster. I listened to it today, and your songwriting skills are just amazing.
Thank you.
Your voice is incredible. You are a jazz singer, you're an Americana singer, you're a pop singer. You do so much. Where do you come from? You're from the West Coast of the United States of America. Tell us how you got to Nashville in a nutshell, the nutshell story.
The nutshell story. Well, I first came from Venus or Mars or one of the two, or the moon probably, and I dropped into Earth in San Jose, California, where I was raised in Willow Glen and Campbell, to be specific. My grandmother was a singer. I learned how to sing very young with her. I quickly got into musical theater. It was the quickest way to be a performer. That is what initially brought me to New York. I had a few little detours along the way. I was going to move to Canada and sing Om chants on a commune there for a while. But instead, right as my boxes were packed to move to Canada, I auditioned for Little Shop of Horrors. And I got the lead role as Audrey, which then had me stay in the Bay Area, open up to a couple more years of leading roles, which got me to New York City. So I went to New York and I was there for 5 years. And I was auditioning like crazy as an actor, pounding the pavement, as they say.
What years with?
I moved there in 2008. I left in 2013.
Wow. So you were auditioning and you were in musical theater and pursuing the singing career as well, like as far as writing your own songs.
Yeah.
And I was sort of on a similar path.
Yeah.
Because I've always had a band, my artist named Brother Love. I'm singer, songwriter, rock and roll and all that. But I was into theater and I was into acting and voiceovers.
Yeah.
And auditioning in New York City the exact same time. I pretty much left New York closer to when you arrived in New York.
Okay.
But you talk about hitting the pavement.
Woof.
People I don't think they know. I would be working at the restaurant that I worked in on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And it would, let's say, be, I don't know, 4:30, let's say, or 3:30. And the phone would ring at work, at the restaurant, and we're just setting up, right?
Yeah.
We're polishing silverware, right? We're cleaning plates. We're getting ready for the night's service. And Larry, there's a phone call for you. And it would be my agent, right? This is on a phone.
Larry, down here.
That's exactly right. It would be my agent. It'd be like, hey, Larry, are you available? We need you to come to West 27th Street and 10th Avenue, and you need to be there in 30 minutes, and you need to read this thing, whether it was just a script to read or it was on camera.
Yeah.
And I would tell my boss at the restaurant, I'll be back soon. And then you run.
Oh.
You run to the subway.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
you hope that you can catch the train to go to Midtown, to catch the other train, to go across town. You get to the audition and you're a disgusting mess, especially in the summer. I would go to auditions. Of course I didn't get it. You know why? Because I just ran my ass off.
And you're out of breath when you get there.
You're
Oh my
out
God.
of breath. I mean, I would get auditions because of my hair, because I have like a Jew fro hair. This thing would be on the floor. By the time it was so sweaty and disgusting. And
my
you're on the
God.
subway and it's rush hour by
And your
now.
nerves are high.
What was it like for you auditioning?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the first place I lived was on 29th and 8th Avenue. And at the time, I had all my equity points, but I was holding them.
What does that mean, equity points?
As a stage actor, you become an equity actor, and so you're part of the union.
Yes.
And you collect all of your equity points, or you can join a show and they give you your cards. When I got to New York, I had all my equity points, but I hadn't turned them in yet. Well, the first week I was there, you stand in line. You go down to Times Square for the audition at like 5 a.m. So you roll out of bed. You go down to Times Square at 5 a.m. You stand in a big, long line full of people until the doors open at 7. And you go in there.
So this is like a cattle call audition.
It's like big calls. You go to actorsequity.com or whatever. You look at the auditions and you go and sing your 8 bars or your 24 bars of music. If you, as an EMC member, before you become equity, it's if they have a slot available.
Wow.
So I did that for a week and I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to just go become an equity member. I have all the points. So what's different when you're an equity member, you still get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You still haul your cookies down to Times Square or, the middle of June and it's crazy hot at 5 o'clock in the morning. You stand there with all the other people in your pajamas and you go in and you get a slot for 2:30 that afternoon, a 10-minute slot, if that. So then you haul your cookies back home, you get ready, you put all your stuff in your backpack, your sheet music. If you have work later that day, you got your work shoes, you got your work attire, you have your audition attire, and then you get back down to Times Square. You go up there's like a holding room. Everybody's primping and getting ready. Oh. And then you finally get in there and you're like, yeah, I'm totally natural and this is totally fine. And hi, how are you? I'm Sarah. And blah, 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 blah. You're like so spun.
Right.
Stand on the X in this neofluorescent lit room that's so unnatural and the sirens are going off behind you, and just be natural and go ahead and speak to this stranger piano player who's never heard your song before or whatever, and just do your best. Show us your everything, in like 8 bars of music.
Wow.
Impossible.
Yeah.
So I did that for a long time. And
this is musical theater, to be clear.
Musical theater, to be clear.
Right.
So what got me away from that is that I got to I call it the glass wall so many times, got right up to it, and then it just didn't happen. Like I wouldn't get the show, or I've done a lot of like off Broadway stuff. So then I was like, I remember the day I was in an audition room in a holding tank. There was a mirror, and there were all these girls primping. There was someone in a yellow dress, a pink dress, a red dress, an orange dress. And it became like the veil lifted for me.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm not going to fit in to what I have no idea you're looking for. I'm me. And it shifted for me, and I went and took a solo show writing class with a wonderful man named Matt Hoverman. And I started my, singer-songwriter process really picked up there. I wrote my own one-woman show. I performed it. I wrote songs for it. And all of a sudden, I was in open mics. I started meeting producers. I started meeting musicians, and I sort of shifted.
Wow.
And then I was in Brooklyn, and I was invited to go to this talk with a woman named Amanda Williams, who's here. You know Amanda?
Yeah.
And Kim Williams, her
Yes.
father. So she was my introduction to Nashville in Brooklyn. And I saw her. I walked into this bar where she was giving this talk about her songwriting and music business conference that she had here.
Yeah.
And I saw her, she's long, red,
Oh,
beautiful hair.
She's incredible.
And she was wearing like bell bottoms, and just her vibe. I was like, something is shifting in my life. Like I could feel it. So I stayed there for her talk. We totally connected. She called me 2 weeks later and she was like, we're having a conference here in Nashville. Come be my guest. I want you to come to Nashville. And I was like, yeah, okay. The South, like the Bay Area to New York City.
Right.
I'm from a very diverse family.
Mm-hmm.
The South,
Well,
Nashville, Tennessee.
The fact that Amanda Williams, who is as country as they come, was in New York City should be enough to tell you that
Right.
you could go anywhere.
Totally. Everything about it was like, yeah. And everything opened up. I booked the ticket. I went to the conference. I had written like 3 songs at that time that I was performing at open mics. She gave me a spot in the showcase. I performed it. I was granted an award for like best female singer-songwriter, which gave me a meeting with a publisher, Bobby Reimer at the time, before I left back to New York. And he said, I think you might want to really consider Nashville.
Wow. And what year was this?
2013.
So you spent a good amount of time in New York kicking around, doing your thing.
13. So I guess it was 2012 when I went to that conference. And on the way back from Nashville, I was in a relationship at the time. And it was already kind of like, you can feel when it's ending.
Yeah.
I said to the universe on the plane on my way back to Brooklyn, okay, send me a sign and make it really loud because I want to hear it. What am I supposed to do here? Nashville? I'm moving to Nashville? What? Like I live in New York. I go to dance classes here. I'm all involved in the community. But I was sort of floating because I didn't want to do the musical theater thing anymore. My solo show was written. I had performed it. I was like looking for the next thing. And on the way back, I got home to our place in Brooklyn and there was a foreclosure notice on the door.
Of your building.
Yeah, it was like an old bank building and we lived in the top unit. And then I walked in and Mike, my partner at the time, was like, I got a job back in California. I'm moving back to California. And I was like, right on. I'm moving to Nashville. And then it all just like opened up.
Wow.
And moved to Nashville. It was amazing.
Well, some of the key things that you were saying was, and I talk about this a lot on this show, and I bring up my hero, Brene Brown, and she talks a lot about the difference between fitting in and belonging. There you were, at an audition for musical theater. That is the hardest business to be in. Musical theater. I'm born and raised in New York. I worked in restaurants and I always was not into the musical theater, but everybody that I knew and was friends with and girlfriends and guy friends, they all were in musical theater. And I just remembered being like, wow, all you're doing is changing and chasing and primping and posing, and all you're doing is everything but being who you are.
Yeah.
You really are chasing and you're proving and you're performing and you're pleasing just to fit in. You're changing who you are to be just like everybody else.
And nobody knows what they want. Just saying that, I was gifted an opportunity when I was in New York still. I was taking a class with a wonderful guy named Mark Simon, who was a great director. And he was casting a Broadway show. And he said, Sarah, do you want to come be behind the table? I was like, yeah.
Wow.
What I learned, there was amazing people walked in one after the other. The conversation was like, the dress is not going to fit her. The wig's not going to work. She has size 8 shoes and we need size 7.
Right.
It was so much not about the talent.
Yeah.
It was about how it's going to fit in. Budget, money.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money to put on a show,
But people spend their whole careers going through this day in and day out. I mean, we do the same thing differently here. Like for myself, let's say being in a rock and roll band, trying to figure out how do we get more likes or how do we get more people to listen to our music. But I can digest all of that and be all right with it because it was a lot more than just how I look. As far as musical theater goes, it's so much about how you look. Yes, the talent, like you said, the talent has got to be there. It was too stressful for me. And I remember being on the same lines and I would have an appointment because I had an agent. Mm-hmm. And my agent would be like, you have to try out for this show. It's Jesus Christ Superstar, Larry. You could do this. And I'm like, I hate this. I don't want to do this. And truthfully, I would go in and a lot of times I would get no love. A lot of times because the guy before me who was gay and the casting director was gay loved each other and hugged on each other and like had 10 minutes of a conversation, and the casting director had zero to say to me and really kind of could care less about me. And I remember thinking, I was like, wow, you don't like me. We don't know each other, but you just gave so much love to, I just watched you hug and have a conversation with 3 other guys in front of me and I don't feel welcome here at all. And I'm like, all right, well, the hell with this,
It's a bit of a club. I mean, everything is a club. It's like, you know, what we do here with our club of people. To kind of piggyback on what we're saying,
Yeah.
I got an opportunity to do Ahrens and Flaherty, who wrote Ragtime and Seussical and Once on This Island and Anastasia. So I originated a role in their show that they're doing called Knoxville. And that did not come until I was fully being just who I am, living in Nashville, writing songs. To be honest, the way I got that, I had my husband now, Matt, who you just interviewed. We were on a breakup and I was sad and going through it and healing and strengthening. I didn't even know how much I was strengthening. And I ended up playing a little Beatles song, I've Just Seen a Face, a little tiny blue light, me in like glasses and no makeup playing guitar. And the next day I got a call from a girlfriend who was involved in the show. And she's like, hey, I'm not doing the show anymore. Do you have something I can send to Ahrens and Flaherty? Do you have like a singer-songwriter little clip? I'm like, yeah, actually, I just recorded one last night. Sent it off, sent my headshot and resume, got a call the next day and got an offer to fly to Sarasota, Florida to originate a role with an all-studded Broadway cast.
Wow.
We had a world premiere. The pandemic came and it was a 2-year wait. There's a whole saga, wonderful drama story that was meant to happen with this gorgeous show called Knoxville that I wasn't even looking for. I was just being who I was, and it comes along.
So why do you think that is? You felt a sense of comfort in your own skin. You are very much in your own skin. You are very much Mother Earth in a lot of ways, and you are a mother to be. How do you feel about the difference between I spent a lifetime chasing to just being and becoming? Because it's hard to just say, all right, I'm not going to chase. I'm just going to be who I am. People say that all the time. And it's sort of like a chip on the shoulder thing a lot of times, which works for a lot of people. But when things naturally occur and they naturally flow, we don't even realize it's happening because we're right in the moment. Was there a moment? Maybe that was the moment, but
I feel a little emotional about this because it's like there's no sadness with it. It's almost like how much time we spend trying, but it's such a part of it. It's part of becoming who we are, you know? If I didn't run down and pave the pavement, that's the push and pull that brought me to my center. And I think that like, you know, in addition to all of this, I've always done a practice called 5 Rhythms, which is a movement meditation practice. Throughout my whole New York experience, I was dancing with this incredible tribe of people, and it was like free spirit dancing. I became a sweat space holder and brought it to Nashville and was offering classes in it for a while because I couldn't live without it. But I'm telling you, I couldn't have had my New York experience with all the rejection that came from auditioning, all the hemming and hawing and self-worth conversations in my own head and back and forth, and the beauty of all of that through the struggle of all of that without having an outlet to let it out through my limbs, through my vocal like self-expression and connection and sweating it out. I think that it took all of those things, that push and pull and family stuff that was going on and all of this. It's like I was so shaken by choice. It keeps landing me in my center. And I get emotional about it because where I'm at now, you know, married to an incredibly successful, passionate, committed, dedicated man, that we get to be creative together in this life in the ways that we organically are creative.
Yeah.
And in Nashville, I'm looking around, we're sitting in my design studio right now. I really have created this life. I get to sing, I get to act, I get to write, I get to design, I get to connect with wonderful friends. And now I get to be a mama and I get to be with a beautiful partner that supports all of those limbs reaching out in these different places. I could never be who I am without all of those things.
Right.
And forever, I've told myself, I've heard it from other people, choose one, choose a path.
Right.
Be the ingenue, be the rock singer, be the jazz singer. You can't do it all. But you know what? I, for me, have to be able to access all of those things to be fully who I am. And I think that's what makes me emotional, is giving myself the freedom to really express and be and live in the space. And it's risky business, right?
Yeah.
Being an artist is a little bit risky. However, it's the most rewarding thing ever for me.
That's amazing. So
it's nice to be able to have the space to
talk about this stuff. Yeah. I mean,
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Part of your bio is praising the fact that you do a lot of different things. And I'm always amazed at how many things you do, and you do them well. You are 42, right? You have a jazz record coming out, the Sarah Aili Sextet, right?
Yep. It's called All of Me.
It is called All of Me.
Yeah.
You are performing jazz shows. You have a regular residency at Analog in Nashville, Tennessee. You are also writing and involved in a show called Back in Birmingham.
Yes, with Radney Foster.
Back in Birmingham tells the story of 3 generations of women from grandmother to daughter to granddaughter, and travels through the patterns of love, loss, and everything in between. So tell me a little bit about Back in Birmingham, what this show is and how it came about. Because once again, you're back in the musical theater realm, right?
Yeah, we just did Waitress with TPAC, with Nashville Repertory Theater, and Indecent this last year.
Right.
Well, last year and a half with them, which was wonderful. Sarah Bareilles wrote the music to Waitress, and it's just like, for me, Waitress was, I could do that show forever.
Right.
I played Jenna, Sarah Bareilles' role, and it's the perfect marriage of singer-songwriter land and storytelling and musical theater.
Wow.
The music is so good.
It is so good. And my wife got to play drums with Sarah Bareilles on one of the late night shows a couple of years ago. Yeah, it was incredible. And she was wonderful to meet. So you did Waitress. Now you're doing your own show back in Birmingham. What is that like? What is it about?
So Radney and I started that process probably 6 years ago.
Tell us who Radney is.
Radney Foster is a force of nature. He is also a Renaissance man. Many people who would know Radney for his music would know him as a country artist. He has many, many hits out in the world. He's got his own artist career. He's been touring forever from Del Rio, Texas.
Keith Urban, The Chicks, Brooks and Dunn, Kenny Loggins. I mean, he's written songs for everybody and #1 hits.
He is a gem, a star.
Renaissance
he's a superstar.
man. Yeah.
Also, turns out he's an actor. Turns out he's a script writer. He's writing a movie with his wife now. And the way we found this out, to be honest, here I am moving to Nashville, not being the biggest country music buff. I knew some country. My brother had listened to country off and on, but I don't know all the nitty gritty of country music. So here I am. I'm on a project called Trio by this woman named Sherry Smith, my friend Eric Erdman, who's one of my very consistent co-writers. He introduced me to Radney and to Sherry and got onto this project. So every summer for about 3 years, I would receive a book, I'd read it, and I'd write a song about it.
Right.
And at the same time, there was a visual artist creating a piece of art for it. And there were 13 sets of trios, I think, and we'd get together and we would tour different bookstores around the South. Radney Foster was one of the writers, and there we were in a bookstore in Marietta, Georgia. And it was right around the time that Trump was elected for the first time. And I was about ready to leave Nashville. I just wanted to get back to my cozy little blue pool in California.
Yeah.
And I was about ready to leave. And one of my dear friends, Gary, said to me, be where your feet are. So I was dealing with this back and forth of like, I love my life here, but I want to be back in California where it's comfy. And in that moment, I went to Marietta, Georgia, and Radney sang a song called California. And I sang a song called Wings. And there was just this kismet. And I honestly didn't know his history, his repertoire, his autobiography. I just saw him as a human and as a spirit, and we connected in that light. And his song California was talking about like streets that I knew in San Francisco and Santa Cruz. We just got to talking afterwards, and he became my mentor very quickly. We just had this rapport. We started writing songs. It was going to be country songs. And then we started speaking in accents, and we started playing around with characters. And I discovered he was in a show in Atlanta where he played the father role that Christian Bush was the musical director of. Huh. And he was like, do you have acting training? And I'm like, yeah, I come from the theater world. And all of a sudden, there we were in this story called Back in Birmingham. And the first song we wrote was Say Your Goodbyes Now, which is definitely based off of the last moments I had with my grandmother, Ethel, who taught me to sing. So we went from there, and then we started writing a song called Back in Birmingham. So then the story started to come about. We have the grandmother, the granddaughter, which is very much the same as my life, and then we have the daughter. The daughter role is loosely based off of my mom, addiction. There's a whole story there. We have a beautiful story of overcoming addiction. And then there's a lot of creative license. But the idea is that the grandmother was a Jewish vaudeville singer. She falls in love with a cowboy in Birmingham, Alabama, and then stays there forever. She doesn't ever go back to New York. They fall in love. It's a Southern man marrying a Jewish woman. They have a daughter. The daughter ends up running off to California, being a hippie, getting pregnant, having a baby, and not being able to take care of her. So the granddaughter is raised by the grandmother and the grandfather. And there's all this tension between mom and daughter. So it's about the generational blueprint of family, kind of what we were talking about, where giving it space to heal, first you got to face it. You got to talk about it. You got to acknowledge what's in the space. And that's the only way you can deal and then heal, so that you can be free to be the person who you are out in the world. So it's all about overcoming familial shadows, the dust that's under the rug, sweeping it out so that you can be free to go live your life and honor your legacy.
Oh, that is so cool. So Say Your Goodbyes Now was the first song you wrote, and that is the EP that you put out in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a whole bunch of songs on there that are from that time and that are in the show.
Back in Birmingham. There are 2 songs on that EP, Back in Birmingham and Say Goodbyes Now, that are from the show.
So we get a taste of what's ahead with that EP. That's great. So
Yeah.
let's now go to the fact that you are about to be a mom.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling?
So amazing. There's this alien that keeps kicking on the inside of my body that's amazing, that also has a second heartbeat. That amazes me all the time.
What do you mean a second? It has 2 hearts?
Well, I have in my body right now, there are 2 hearts.
I'm like, whoa.
I wake up in the morning sometimes and I'm like, wow, I have 2 heartbeats inside of me right now.
So
Wow.
are the rhythms the same? Do they match up? Are they like,
I can't feel the baby's heartbeat. I can
Okay.
feel the baby's little movements and probably elbow and feet.
Okay.
But just the realization that there's a heart
Oh,
in there. I can see the heart on the ultrasound.
Right.
It's the last time we went, it was at 140, 141
Okay.
BP.
That's great. So what's it like? We've mentioned this a couple of times. You're 42.
Yeah.
We're in a business as creatives in Nashville. There's a lot of people that are getting older, like we all do, if we're lucky.
Nobody gets out of there alive.
Nobody
It's
gets
true.
that. Exactly. And the fear of having a child, like I'm an artist, I don't have time for a kid, we're not doing that. Or now I'm getting too old to have a child. I'm pushing 40. What am I going to do? I need to freeze my eggs. People talk about all of this stuff. Did you expect to have a kid? What's the feeling being a 42? You got to teach us all.
Yeah.
Teach us all, wise woman.
Well, so wisdom, right?
Yes.
Like there's a wisdom we come to with age. And who I am today, I feel, is more equipped than I've ever been to be selfless enough, to know how to take care of myself enough, to be in a solid relationship, solid footing, to know who I am, to be able to host another human being.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've got FOMO about anything, because what I know is that I'm not going to lose myself. Okay, so to tie it into Back in Birmingham, Radney and I took 6 years to get through this stuff. And a lot of it was really difficult for me to get through because it dealt with a lot of the addiction stuff with my mom. But where we are, my mom and I, in our personal life, we've had so much healing. I had to go through all that stuff to even write that show.
Right.
And we finished the show, and it was literally a month later, pregnant.
Wow.
It's like I let some stuff go, and there came the baby. Also, Matt and I decided, we sold the band van. We were on tour together, and he was on tour a lot longer than I was solo and with the band. My father moved here a week before we found out, got a bunch more gigs in town, just really got settled, finished back in Birmingham. And it was right then that baby was like, now's the time. Now you're going to be my mom and dad.
Wow.
And we were totally open to it. We were not trying.
You were in the, right. You were not trying. You were in the flow.
We were in alignment.
Yeah.
Both of us. Like, we had said what we wanted to create here to get more grounded and be here more. And it all just aligned.
Yeah.
You know, I really, truly believe that.
Right.
You can't make that happen.
No, not at all. So how is your health physically and how is your mental health with all of this stuff?
Physically, I feel really good.
You look great.
Thank you.
I've seen you a lot recently. I mean, you just vacuumed the floor before I came in. So you got it going on. You're in good shape, let me tell you.
Yeah, I feel in good shape. I feel like we're 24 weeks
Okay.
on Saturday.
Right.
And my belly's growing. It's an amazing phenomenon.
Hadn't noticed.
And thank you.
Hey, I got in trouble once. I worked in a restaurant and I said, congratulations. And the woman looked at me and she said, for what?
For what?
And I said, oh my gosh. Oh no, I just did. And I'm staring, smiling like, what do you mean?
Like, I'm trying to be a nice guy here, you know?
I couldn't even just let it go and walk away. Yeah. She got a lot of free stuff. Her dinner was it was practically free. Yeah. Will you leave me alone already? I get it. You're messed up.
Oh my God.
Stop feeding me.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's so good. But it's a beautiful thing. People love to celebrate love. People love to
Yes.
celebrate growth and family. And there's a sweetness that comes with it. There's a togetherness that comes with it.
Yeah.
There's a wholeness to be part. I feel like I'm part of this beautiful tribe of women that get to have babies. It feels really incredible.
Is there anybody that your friends are close with that is also having a baby around the same time?
Yes. So many.
Really?
I went to a girlfriend, her baby shower. She played Dawn in Waitress with me. We were the 2 waitresses. And there were 6 other pregnant women there at her baby shower. So many people right now at our age are having children, which is so cool.
See, there is hope for that. I'm convinced, and because I speak to a lot of people, a lot of friends that are women that are just like, if I don't have a baby now, I never will, or I'm afraid to do it later.
Listen, my
Tell
mom,
us,
her
please.
her mom was 46 when she had her in 1954.
Wow.
In the medical world, there's just a whole big gray area. When women turn 40, like, they just don't know what to do with us. They don't. Thyroid stuff pops up. All this medical. I mean, this all started off with a thyroid flare up for me. As a matter of fact, the day that I found out I was pregnant, I was on a walk. I had some thyroid issues going on, and they wanted me to drink this radioactive
Oh my gosh.
stuff that under the x-ray it would be neon, and they'd see whatever's happening. Okay. I didn't feel anything weird, but I'm like, okay, well, if you say I have thyroid stuff, I guess I do. I should look into it.
No, there's a glowing baby in you.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's what it was. So like, but I'm 40, I'm 41, 42, and they say generally that's when thyroid stuff pops up in women. It's just a general statement.
Yeah.
So I was on a walk with a girlfriend and I was going to pass out. I was like winded. So we sat down in the middle of the walkway. It was my friend Bonnie. And she said, before you go and drink this radioactive stuff, why don't you just go ahead and take a pregnancy test? And I did. And I'm so glad because I was pregnant. If I would have gone to drink the radioactive stuff, it would have been really super bad. So now that I'm pregnant, I'm working with an endocrinologist. This is very interesting stuff here, very personal, but
I'm still here. This is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So I give a lot of blood as well as like go into my OB appointments, but my numbers are all just fine. They fluctuate with pregnancy.
Yeah.
And the endocrinologist is wonderful. Mr. Singh is his name. He's from New York. He's right along with me on the journey. And I just think that that's all we need as women over 40 in the medical world is just some attention on who we are and what our bodies are doing. There's a lot of mystery because they just don't know. There's not a lot of information about what happens to women's bodies between 40 and when you're old.
So how's your mental health? We've sort of touched upon all of this right now because you really are in the flow of life. You are comfortable in your own skin and you seem very healthy mentally wise. But I mean, things come up, emotions happen, and to be able to sit back in the seat of yourself and to witness your own life happen as it's happening in the present moment and to watch all the change has got to be astonishing and maybe scary sometimes.
For sure. The other day, we went to South Hall, which is a wonderful place outside of Franklin. We watched a Colby Collet show. And Matt was over speaking with someone. He's going to start DJing there and playing some shows there. So he was speaking with someone about that. And I had put my jean jacket on this booth to save a seat. And I came back after getting like a plate of hors d'oeuvres. And somebody had removed my jean jacket and they threw it into a corner. There was two people sitting there. It was a big booth. I said, "Excuse me, was there a jacket here?" And they said, "No, I didn't see a jacket." And I looked over. I saw it thrown into the corner. And I was like, okay, let's talk about mental health. In that moment, I could have breathed fire onto those people. However, I took the high road in the moment and I kind of didn't know what to do. So I bent over, this pregnant woman. I bent over to get my jacket and they're just watching me bending over to get this jacket. And they didn't say much. So I went over and I sat somewhere else. And then I was like, no, I'm going to say something to these people. So I went back and I was like, I'm not angry with you, but the next time you want to sit somewhere, don't just throw someone's jacket in the corner. Just communicate.
Yeah.
I would have been totally fine to say, yes, there's 8 of you. There's 2 of us for sure. Enjoy the booth. But just speak your truth. Don't be an asshole. You know what I mean?
Did you say that?
I didn't say don't be an asshole.
Right.
I kind of did it undercurrently.
Yes. And
I
what did
said
they-
next time, like, please just ask for what you need, but go ahead and enjoy the booth. Have a great night.
And what did they say?
They just kind of didn't say much.
Yeah. See, I
It
would
was so like... But I was pissed. Like, we left pretty soon after that because I told Matt about it and he's like, you want me to go talk to them? Should we talk to somebody? I'm like, no, if they're not going to get it, they're not going to get it.
Yeah. See, I would have pretended to be like, what was that, Junior? And look down at my belly. And be like, I'm sorry, what was that? Did you hear that? They'd be like, what? And I would have made it up. You don't know if you're having a boy or a girl, correct?
Correct.
I would have just made it up. Like, wow, my daughter says you're an asshole.
Should have.
Look at that.
I mean, I definitely
then-
did some role playing in my head about what I could have done.
Yeah.
Oh, is this your jacket? Excuse me. Let me just throw it in the corner for you. How does that feel?
My little son says you're selfish.
I
Bye.
mean, bye.
Oh, my goodness.
But it sent me, to be honest, it sent me on a little tunnel of thought about, oh my God, I've gone over the hill. Now I'm going to be a mom for the rest of my life. I'm not noticeable. Like, I'm fat. I'm ugly. I'm this. I'm that. I'm unimportant. People are just shoving me off because now I'm just a woman with a baby. Like, and before I wasn't.
Right.
It was just something different. And, Matt, he let me just say it all. And he just, threw his arms around me. And he's like, you're beautiful. I love you. It's all good. It's a moment. But I let myself, it was definitely a tunnel of thought. And all this stuff came out.
Wow. And that's the past. That's what you lived. That's something that naturally came in the moment.
Yeah.
And then looking at your story, hearing you, looking at you, it's like, well, wait a minute. No, you're a mom. you're going to be taking care of somebody else other than yourself, which is what you said. And you taught that baby in you to take the high road. You literally, I mean, we all know this, but I don't think we understand or remember it. And I can't say any of this because I'm not ever going to have a child as far as, I'm a man.
In your body. Yeah.
In my body. But if you had gone and lashed out, that would have affected your biology. That would have affected your chemistry. That would have affected your mood, your emotional impact on this child. Now, maybe the fact that you were a little underhanded and you were clever about it, maybe that's what you'll pass on. They'll understand. But the fact that you kept your cool, that you didn't lash out, that you weren't
Make a scene.
You weren't reactionary. You were able to think about it for a second and then make the choice to say something so that you didn't bottle it up and then go and just seethe and be angry and keep that in, because we transfer that stuff.
Absolutely.
So good for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, it might have felt really good to lash out and throw their jacket in the corner, but at the end of the day, what's that going to communicate?
Right.
What are they going to be left with? What am I going to be left with?
Right. Yeah.
But if I can say it all, we were talking about just let it out and let it pass. That's the only way to let it pass.
Yes.
You got to walk through it to get to it.
That's
Isn't
right.
the phrase? It's true.
That's fantastic.
And about being a mom, there's a million and bajillion things that I have no idea that I'm going to learn or how to know how to navigate.
Yeah.
I'm trusting the path, honoring where I'm at in the moment. I'm working diligently to take a nap if I'm tired, because I'm so used to just going. And I'm finding out that it's detrimental at the end of the day if I don't go and rest my body.
Mom is enough. Superhero mom is not necessary, right? Mom is enough.
I'm out of breath going up and down the stairs, which is so funny. It's I'm so used to just getting up, going to the gym in the morning, having the day, being at full packed from 7 to midnight. But I have to honor when I'm no, I don't actually have the capacity to spend the energy.
What are you most excited about this pregnancy, about being a mom?
I'm really excited to meet this little being. And I'm really can't wait to just hear who they are, see who they are, to listen to them.
Yeah.
To look at them.
Yeah. And you don't know what
you're
you're
with them.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, I'm being with them now, but to actually hold a brand new life in my hands.
Yeah. Are you afraid of anything? Anything scary?
Birth.
Yeah.
It's pain. I'm not a big pain. I don't love pain. But what I know is that every human being walking around on the planet, we've been through this on one side or the other. We've either given birth or have been birthed.
Yeah.
And those of us walking have survived that. So I have a lot of confidence in the journey.
Yeah.
What else am I scared about? I'm scared about I'm in Taurus, and I like to be in somewhat of control about my environment, my feelings, the vibe, the energy, the mood. The baby's life. I know they're going to be living their own life. They're on their own path, but they're going to be with us for a while to shape.
I hope so.
Help shape,
You're 5 now,
well,
Junior.
For
Get out.
Sure, get out. I see ya.
Get a job.
But just to let them be who they are, but not hover over them with so much protection that they don't get to live and experience and get dirty.
Right.
But as a balance. And I think I'm not afraid of it. I'm curious about it. I'm a little apprehensive because I've never done it before. I mean, I've been a child. I have parents. I've watched this happen, but doing it.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm a little afraid of the control that I'm going to want to have. And that's going to have to be a consistent conversation.
Right on.
Does that make sense?
That makes all the sense in the world.
Okay. Because freedom means also structure. You've got to create structure in order to have freedom. Or else you're just a balloon with a hole in it, going everywhere and everywhere and everywhere.
Right. Well, you're very in tune with what's going on. You're very in tune with yourself. And there is a vitality, a life force that is transmitted through you into action. And because there is only one of you in all of time, this expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium, and it will be lost. The world will not have it. It is not your business to determine how good it is, nor how valuable, nor how it compares with other expressions. It is your business to keep it yours clearly and directly, and to keep the channel open. I did not write that. Martha Graham, American modern dancer and choreographer,
yes.
to Agnes DeMille, who was also a dancer. I love that quote.
Beautiful.
And it reminded me of you as I was driving over here today, and I thought, this is the quote for this episode.
Oh, love.
You are fabulous. You do so much. You are a singer, you are a songwriter, you're a recording artist, actor, writer, you have a merchandise company. Lily Bunk Design is where we have beautiful customized heirloom projects. You, Sarah Aili, the Sarah Aili Sextet on Thursday, September 25th is your next show at Analog. Tell us a little bit about this endeavor, your show in September, and you have more coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Right? When is this baby due, by the way? Because you have a show in September.
And in November, but I'll be very big by then. The baby is December 13th is their landing.
December 13th is my wedding anniversary.
Ah,
My wife and I, it is our 10-year wedding anniversary
beautiful.
on December 13th.
Oh, I love that.
So what a great day to be
Yes,
alive, to
yes.
give birth, to love. So wait a minute. How are you going to do all this? So you have shows, you have a residency. We keep talking about this. So
Yep.
explain your jazz residency, because I love this about you, because this is what's coming up. So tell us what's
Yeah.
coming up, Sarah Aili.
Yes, jazz. My grandmother, who we've talked a lot about today, Ethel, taught me how to sing with American Songbook standards.
Yes.
And it's been my favorite music to sing forever. Here we are. Analog is like my favorite venue in town. Meredith, who's the booker there and the curator of the whole space, is wonderful and delightful, and we've become friends. And I was performing there a couple times with other kind of acts. And I was like, what if I just sang some jazz here? I started at the 58, where
Yeah.
we do Greasy Chicken. And it was wonderful, but not exactly the vibe for what I want for a jazz show.
Correct, yeah.
And then we aligned with Meredith, and Ty Bailey is keys. We've played with him for a long time. We've talked about doing jazz for years.
Yeah.
Finally, we got to do that. Jimmy Sullivan is the upright bass player. We were friends a long time ago through songwriting, and then we got back together at Rudy's, actually. He asked me to be a guest on his Sunday Swing and Supper show. Ty was playing the keys that night. Derek C. Phillips was on drums, and Andrew Carney was on the horn, and it was so fun. We're
Yeah.
like, well, let's do that again. So
Yeah.
we did, and then through that, this band that is now the Sextet has come together. So Marlon Patton on the keys, Andrew Carney on trumpet, and Timothy Kreis
Yeah.
on saxophone. And we have been having the best time. So we were performing at 58. Bobby Holland was in the audience. He came up after and said, do you want to
Producer.
record
Yeah.
a jazz record? Yeah, he's a producer, songwriter, brilliant human. We love Bobby at Pentaveret Studio. Is a studio. He said, do you guys want to record a jazz record? I said, more than anything. He's like, I want you to come to Pentaveret. I'm going to give you the studio, but you have to have these guys, and I want to co-produce it with your husband. Let's do it. So we went in, recorded this jazz record the same weekend, right before our first show at Analog. And we've just been going ever since. It's been just these fun, wonderful shows. You were a guest at the last show.
That's right. I love singing the Sinatra tunes.
Oh, we had so much fun. As a matter of fact,
We are going to do our own show.
let's duet
We shall.
in February
I know.
at the Analog.
You're going to be a mom. This is
Yeah.
going to be so great. We're going to sing to your little child. That's so fabulous. So you have all these shows.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah,
oh,
so
my
fun.
goodness. I'm so excited for you. Are you ready for my speed round of questions?
Yes.
It's very simple stuff.
Okay.
And we've kind of touched upon so much of this, but what fascinates you, Sarah Aili?
This moment right here, this presence, the presence in the moment, when collaboration.
Yeah.
Like, what's here? What's here? What are we carving? I love that.
What angers you? What pisses you off, Sarah Aili?
Non-consideration for other people in the space.
Yeah. Throw your jacket on the floor. Let a pregnant lady pick up
Yeah.
her own darn jacket.
Yeah, like just like aloofness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Non-awareness
Yeah.
really gets my goat.
What brings you joy?
Delicious things, even rugs, like delicious material. Material brings me a lot. Like texture brings
Yeah.
me a lot of joy.
What kind of texture?
Like I'm looking at this rug right here behind you. This texture of rug. Also like flavors and food. Cashmere brings me a lot of joy. It's the feels. Good
Yeah.
feels bring me a lot of joy. Does that make sense?
That makes all the sense in the world.
The feels.
If you had a magic wand and you could change something, or let's say fix it, okay, make it better, make it the way you would like it, whether that's better or worse, you could fix anything or change something to your liking, Sarah Aili, what would it be?
In the world.
In the world, in the universe, you have a magic wand. I can do what I want with this right now.
It would have everyone know their self-worth.
Wow.
To let everyone know that like you are loved.
All right. Now the hard one. Toilet paper over or under?
Over.
Thank goodness. There's a lot of lunatics out
Oh
there.
my God. Yeah.
Well, you're going to teach this child everything that he or she needs to know. Sarah Aili, where do we find you? You do so many things. And just give me the commercial.
SarahAili.com will lead you to all those different places. The
Right.
social media, all the different websites, all the things.
Oh, it's fantastic. Sarah Aili, singer, songwriter, recording artist, actor, writer, mom to be. You are a creator on so many levels. You are a true artist on so many levels. I'm so grateful to know you. And I really appreciate you being on the Just Keep Talking podcast with me, Brother Love, because Sarah Aili, your story matters.
Thank you so much. What an honor to be with you today.
Yeah. Until next time, we'll see you again soon, folks.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye.
You can personally support this show simply by clicking the tip link in the show notes. The Just Keep Talking podcast is now available on all podcast platforms. Please like, share, and subscribe. Visit our website at justkeeptalking.com, our YouTube channel at Just Keep Talking Podcast, and Instagram at The Just Keep Talking Podcast. We all just want to be seen, to be heard, and to belong. Thank you so much for supporting my mission and the Just Keep Talking Podcast with me, Brother Love, because your story matters.